Hi, Everyday Knife Guy here, and today I want to look at another budget folder from Kershaw. You may have seen my overview a few days ago of this knife, the Thermite. I get about a $30 knife, and yeah, got pretty decent overview. I think it stood up pretty well to scrutiny. So let's take a look at another similarly priced, actually slightly cheaper offering. This is the Kershaw Freefall 3840 is the model number. That's the box it comes in. And you can see there model, and yeah, pretty compact box, just fits. So put that aside. Yeah, so another budget tactical style folder from Kershaw. This is flipper only, speed safe assisted, just like the Thermite. And as you can see, it's a pretty aggressive looking knife, and I read some comments online that you'll like this if you like knives that look like sharks, so I think that's a pretty fair comment. It does have a bit of a sharkish, aggressive snout to it. So yeah, it's a knife I quite like the design of. As for using, I had a few issues, but I'll come to that in a minute. So you're looking at a 3 1/4 inch blade, closed length 4 1/4 inches, and the overall about 7 1/2. So it's not a huge knife, but just enough handle there to give plenty of purchase, and actually quite nice ergonomics. A little chamfer up here at the tail is nice for the pinky finger to get a hold of. Your forefinger really locks in here. Totally flat spine, as you can see. There's no thumb ramp. There's a little bit of jimping on here, but I don't know if you can see. Let me see if I can focus in. It really is pretty rounded off there, so not a lot of bite for the thumb, but it's you feel like you can get some nice downward pressure for cutting and slicing there. So that's kind of the form of it. You can see on the blade there, Kershaw Speed Safe. In the reverse we have 3840 model number, and again Kershaw on the pocket clip, and down here we can see the telltale country of manufacture, and that, my friends, is the reason this knife comes in at a little over $22 on Amazon.com. That is all. So it's really not a very expensive knife at all, and just by looks alone, depending on your taste in knives, it may justify that price tag. So what do we have here? Well, you've got a, as I say, a 3 1/4 inch blade, 8CR13 MOV, which is pretty standard on these budget China produced knives. Glass filled nylon handle, and as you can see, it's a bit of an interesting design on the handle. They've taken the Kershaw K and used that to provide some grip right along here. It's a little bit different, smoothed off areas top and bottom, so it's not uncomfortable in the hand. It does feel pretty grippy. Whether you like the fact they've done that using the K is just a personal preference and a taste thing. You may think it looks a little cheesy, or could be something you quite like. I quite like it personally, and those are quite raised, those Ks, so certainly feel like you can get a good grip on that handle. It is very plasticky feeling, but you know, what do you expect? So deep carry pocket clip, couldn't really get any deeper. Attached right on the end there, and it is reversible with this rather neat little, let's see if I can focus on here, this rather neat little mechanism on the end. Just one little Torx head screw there, unscrew that, flip it round, tighten it back down, that's it. So you could literally rotate the pocket clip in a matter of seconds. It's quite a nice little feature. Looks good, I think, being mounted right on the end. And as I say, you're not going to get a deeper carry than that. So in the pocket, although it is a bit of a wider knife compared to the Thermite I looked at the other day. Let's see if I can get a width on here for you. Yeah, you can see it is quite a bit thicker. Doesn't feel bulky in the pocket at all, and I think that's because it's quite a beveled handle. It really does. It has this. The thickest part is right along the spine here, and then it really does taper off quite a lot to either side. So I feel pretty comfortable in the pocket and pretty comfortable in the hand as a result. Flipper action, really nice. Speed safe assisted, so flies right out there. Yeah, and it's a liner lock design, this one, as opposed to the frame lock of the Thermite. You can see the leaf there. Lock up on this particular knife. Yeah, right about 50, I guess. Lockup, pretty solid vertically. I had a few issues side to side with this knife, really from pretty much the time I got it. I got it, used it a little bit, and pretty soon I noticed there was a lot of slackening off. You can see it's rock solid right now, but that's taken a lot of adjusting to get to that point. I really had to play around with this to get it to that stage, and at the moment it comes out pretty nicely with the flipper, but it could be a lot faster if I slackened off the pivot slightly. In a way, I'm kind of restricting the flipping action to gain some solidity in the side-to-side movement. So slacken that off, you're going to get a much quicker deployment, but you're going to sacrifice a bit of that strength there, and that is at the moment pretty nice. But as I say, it's a real balancing act to try and get that stage. And you know, that tends to, if you do use it heavily, then that's going to tend to slacken off quite often. You're going to end up adjusting this a lot. But again, $22 on Amazon, it's really not an expensive knife, and you can only ask so much. Looking along the spine here again, the jimping carries through on the back of the backspacer here, and it's got this sort of elongated lanyard hole where the scales fall away. Quite a nice little feature, I think, and although that's not, you know, you do kind of feel that in the heel of your palm, but not massively functional jimping on here, but certainly quite a nice design feature. And it does really have a nice flow along the spine if you like that sort of thing. Flat ground tip on this sort of Tanto, modified Tanto style blade. Bit of belly on here. Quite a nice slicer. You can see it really tapers down quite quickly to that edge. But I haven't put a whole lot of use on it. The issues with the pivot and the side-to-side play really kind of put me off using it too heavily. Something I pick up now and again just for a look at. Play with that flipper because it is quite nice in the hand. As you can see there, it's really fighting to go back into the detent because I have it just on the edge of being a flipper and actually not deploying at all. But yeah, a bit of work, and it's good to go. So there we have it, guys. I believe this is actually also, like the Thermite, also available in a black wash blade, but I think currently that may only be available as part of a package with another knife and a flashlight that they produce, but certainly something to look into. I quite like the stonewash look on this knife. I think it's nice contrast with the liners, the blade, and the glass-filled black handles, and that darker grey metal backspacer there. So there you have it, Kershaw Freefall. Nice budget folder from Kershaw. Quite an aggressive looking knife, and depending on your taste in knives, might be right up your street. $22, it's not expensive to add to your collection. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this.